back to another episode of the Play Action Podcast presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm TJ Haws, and joined with me today is, I can't say, one of my two favorite co-hosts of this year, Caiden Bunting.
Hello.
How you doing, Caiden?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to have you back here. It's great that you're here with us for the next two episodes. Going over week 8 of the NFL season, and this is kind of where it's heating up, I feel like. You know, we got the trade deadline right around the corner. It's on Tuesday, which is November 1st, I think, is the date. I hope I'm right. Yeah, because Halloween is Monday. So, yeah, November 1st is the trade deadline. We've already got a decent amount of players who got traded, which a couple will probably actually go over while we talk about these games. So, you know, the trade deadline will only heat up more, hopefully, but we're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about our 5 games for week 8 that we think are going to be some of the best games. So let's just jump right into it. We got Thursday night football, Ravens versus Buccaneers. Who do you got winning this game?
It's interesting here. Buccaneers are struggling this year. Could we blame Tom Brady's marriage? I don't know.
Blame his marriage?
But
yeah.
Buccaneers have been looking rough lately. Rough few weeks. I think the Ravens are going to capitalize on this, and I see the Ravens taking this win. I don't know about a score. I can't tell. I don't trust the Buccaneers to do anything anymore. So I say 21-10 Ravens.
All right, I got 31-21 Ravens as well. I think I feel like I'm giving the Bucs too many points because again they put up 3 against Carolina last week, which is just terrible. Brady doesn't look good, and that Bucs secondary is injured, with Sean Murphy Bunting and Carlton Davis out. Antoine Winfield's out. That's 3 of their top starters. I mean, I don't know how this could get any worse for the Bucs. And it's Lamar. It's Lamar Jackson, I don't see, I think the big thing for the Bucs is just stopping Lamar, but I don't know if they can do that right now.
Yeah, they've been struggling. I agree with you saying Lamar. You can definitely take advantage of this struggling secondary. So many injuries. Like you said, Sean Murphy Bunting, no relation to me, sadly.
I was going to say, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But that's okay, though. What do you see the future of the Buccaneers season? What does it look like?
Bad.
How
bad? Bad. Okay, so I think we know that the era of the 12s are done, right?
Thomas Edward Brady,
and Aaron Rodgers.
Which I'm not mad about.
I mean, yeah, of course you're not. Most Bears fans aren't. But both of those guys are. I don't see. Brady just said that there's no retirement in his near future. Okay, buddy, wait until you play the rest of the season and then not make the playoffs, and then now you're going to be like, oh, I'm done. Because why would you even continue at that point? It doesn't seem like he wants to play. Mm-hmm. And if injuries keep holding back this defense, I don't know how far they can go. I think they can go at this point they can go 9-8, maybe 10-7 at most. But I don't know if I can see them winning that many more games. It's tough.
You think they end up winning 10 games?
I'm saying at the absolute highest. Yeah, they could win 10. But I just don't see it. I don't really see a path for them to be a big name playoff team this year, especially with guys or teams like Minnesota, Philly, Dallas, right? They might win the division and that's why they make it because the rest of their division is terrible.
Agreed.
But they're leading their division at a sub 500 record. Maybe they'll make it and lose in the wild card, but I just don't see a big future for them.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think that the future of the team in 3 seasons is though? How long do you think Brady goes?
Well, Brady,
is this his last year? Do you think?
He'll probably retire.
I would hope so.
He'll probably retire. He doesn't need to do anything. Humble himself a little bit. Go. I don't know. The Bucs will draft a quarterback next year, and
What do you mean, Kyle Trask's season?
No, it's not Kyle Trask's season. It's also Florida Gators quarterback Anthony Richardson's season, and he'll ball out in Tampa. So. I don't know, dude. I just don't like this Bucs team. As much as I hate the Ravens, they're by far the better team here. Mm-hmm. And as long as they can attack that, all the injuries and just bad play on that team, then I don't see a world where Baltimore loses this game. But I'm hoping it's a fun one. I think it can still be a fun game.
Yeah.
But I don't see how the Ravens lose.
I agree with that.
So now, we were just talking about, we kind of mentioned the Bears just a bit there, but we're going to actually get into the game now. We got the Bears versus the Cowboys. It's a noon game on Sunday, and I got the Cowboys winning 28-10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. This Cowboys team is too good. And the Bears, I know they just came off a big win against New England, but I don't know, man. I think the Bears got a little overrated after that win. Like, I think it was a good win, and I think there was a lot of good things to see, but I just can't pick them against Dallas.
As much as it pains me to say, I do agree with you. What do you say your score prediction was?
28-10 Cowboys.
Okay, I had a similar one. 31-10 Cowboys. Yeah, I agree. The Cowboys' offense looks really good right now. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say really good, but they're playing at a high level.
Yeah.
And the Bears' defense, they just traded Robert Quinn.
I was about to say that's the first trade deadline trade we'll talk about is Robert Quinn to the Eagles for a 4th-round pick. What do you think about that, by the way? Let me ask you.
I feel like a lot of Bears fans have a love-hate relationship with Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
We brought him in, give him the big contract, and he kind of underperformed. But this past season, he broke some sack record, right?
Yeah, he broke the Bears single-season sack record.
So a lot of fans fall in love with him. And
of course,
it does pain me to go. But a 4th-round pick, it's not terrible. He was aging, a big old contract on him, so. Of course, I'm upset, but I am looking towards the future with a positive light.
Honestly, I was shocked that they got a 4th-rounder out of him. I mean, I didn't think they'd get that much. He has not looked good this year.
Yeah.
Again, had an incredible season last year, so I think that might have raised his price, their asking price a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Philly just was like, we'll give you a 4th-round pick. You give us Robert Quinn. Bears are paying off his contract for this season.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the money goes to Philly. And who knows how long they'll hold on to him for, but I think it was a good trade, like you said, looking towards the future. Mm-hmm. But this also opens up a big spot for Travis Gibson to get more playing time. This dude he's looked really good in his career so far. This is his 2nd year, and he just hasn't been. There's just been too many players on that rotation to where he couldn't get a full-time role. Mm-hmm. And I think this opens it up for him. I think that was their plan, is to get the young guys more involved. So I could see him having a great first starting game this season. Mm-hmm. With Robert Quinn gone. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm a big fan of Travis. Drafting him, I was a little skeptical, but he's really proven himself in the limited playing time he's gotten. So I'm really excited to see him excel, which I think he can do.
Now, talking about edge rushers, we're going to talk about Micah Parsons because
I'm scared of that man.
I've
seen him in my nightmares.
I don't know where I saw this, but it's this feels like a game where he either gets 8 sacks and 45 pressures. Or no sacks and 2 pressures. It's either the offensive line just plays great against him or just does terrible.
I'm gonna let you know a little secret. They're gonna play terrible.
I think it's gonna be terrible. I think Micah Parsons. There's gonna be a lot of after this week there are gonna be people saying that he is no one else should be considered for Defensive Player of the Year, mm-hmm. and it's only Micah Parsons, which makes sense. This dude's insane. He is. I think he's probably the best defensive player in the league right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
We're close to it.
He is an absolute baller out there. He's crazy athletic, and his technique is just it's picture perfect.
He's gonna humble a lot of the crazy Bears fans saying that this team is great now. I'm sorry, not you,
okay.
not you.
Where are you seeing these?
Not you.
Overhyped Bears fans.
I see Bears fans being like, "Dude, this is our path. We can make." Our schedule looks nice. We can make the playoffs. If we keep playing as well as we did, I'm like, you guys won't play as good as you did. I'm sorry, but it just won't happen. I don't see it happening. I think that was a fluke game for him. Okay, not a fluke game, but more of a the Patriots just sucked.
The Patriots do stink.
Yeah, they do. They are pretty bad. But
you just got Bailey Zappi.
No, you didn't. You won. Remember?
Well, I guess that makes sense. I just like saying that.
It is funny.
Speaking of the. I know. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay then.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I just think the Bears are going to get a little more humbled. I'm not saying it's going to be a crazy big blowout. Obviously, I got them winning by 18.
Yeah.
But
I don't blame you.
I could see it being a little closer of a game. Dak looked really good in his first game back, and I don't see that, stopping. I don't see him just sucking all of a sudden. But I think the Bears could keep it close at some point, and maybe it's some garbage time points at the end of the game. But again, I think really all Bears fans should be looking for is a game where you lose, but a lot of your young guys play really well. That's all you want, because that just shows you have a
At
good
this point,
future. Because like you guys are not a team that's going to compete. Let's be honest here. If you somehow make the playoffs as like a 7th seed, you're not going far. So why would you rather have the 20th pick or something and be like just a playoff team who just barely or barely makes it in and loses by a lot right away?
Yeah.
Or would you rather be a team that drafts like top 10, gets a really good player, knowing that the future is still bright?
I agree.
So I can see the Bears, like I can see Fields, Mooney, and like Roquan Smith, guys like that, your young guys playing really well, but just ultimately being overpowered by Micah Parsons alone, if I'm being honest.
I'm okay with that.
So
I'm okay.
I think it's going to be a promising game for Bears fans. Maybe not by the scoreboard or maybe not by the scoreboard, but I think the stats will show that the Bears played good.
I appreciate that.
Now we're going to go into, you want me to tell you a little fact about this next game?
Hold on, before we go on.
Oh, what do you got?
We got a while recording studio update. Chiefs traded a conditional 3rd-round pick and 6th-round pick to the New York Giants for wide receiver Kadarius Toney.
Dude. That's
dangerous.
What a great time, because we're about to talk about the Giants.
Yeah.
That's a good trade. That's a good trade. I mean, that is, someone like Kadarius Toney he's a very shifty receiver, great after the catch. He was the 20th overall pick just a year or two ago. And that was actually the pick that the Bears had.
Yeah.
When they traded up for Fields. So I don't know, man. I was really hoping he'd, pan out for the Giants, but unfortunately he didn't. Just injuries.
Yeah.
Considering how terrible the field is for the Giants, that's probably why he got injured. That's why a bunch of players get injured playing there. But I mean, I think he got a great home in Kansas City. If anyone can use him well, it's gonna be Eric Bieniemy, and I think Mahomes he's gonna be like a favorite target for
I hope so.
the rest of the season, and I'm sure they'll keep him and extend him, and he'll be there for a while, would be my guess. But I was going to say another fun fact then for this game
I want to hear
is out of every game this week, right? And you got games like Baltimore, Tampa Bay, Packers, Bills, which we'll talk about later, right? You got a bunch of these like big games with big teams. Yet the Giants versus the Seahawks is the only game this week where both teams have a winning record. I don't think I would have expected this at this point in the season.
I would have called you crazy if you told me that.
I mean, dude, why do these teams should not look good? Let me ask you,
why do you have against the New York Giants, TJ? Gosh.
The fact that their roster just doesn't look good. Like, I'm sorry, but let me ask you, why do you think these teams are outperforming expectations?
Number one, I'll start with the Seahawks. Geno Smith has played very well this season.
Yes.
I think it's kind of funny to say, but they kind of upgraded at quarterback.
I mean, looking at this year, I would agree.
Yeah. So, Seahawks, they just look really well. And what's his name? Rashad Penny went down with injury.
Kenneth Walker.
He's stepped up big time.
Like 170 yards last week,
Yeah.
a couple touchdowns. Like, this dude looks crazy good.
Yeah. And the defense is still competing at a pretty good level. So
I want to mention, I'm going to throw in another rookie for Seattle, Tariq Woolen, 5th round.
Enlighten me on him, please.
5th round draft pick, cornerback out of UTSA. He was I don't remember if it was one spot above or below, but he was picked at like 135, which is right about the same draft point that they drafted Richard Sherman.
Oh my God.
I think they were like in their pick, they were one off of one another, and I think both were actually receivers going into college too. So I think there were some comparisons between the two. But I love this dude in the draft. I thought he was like a 2nd round caliber pick or player, and he went all the way in the 5th, and I was like, that's an absolute steal. He has, I believe, 4 or 5 picks on the season already. That's awesome. Playing I said this recently. I think he's a top 5 corner in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Him
and Ahmad Sauce Gardner, greatest, one of the greatest nicknames.
Sauce.
Two rookies being top 5 corners is unheard of.
That's awesome, yeah.
But I think you're right. Seattle, their defense has performed exceptionally well for the talent they have, and I think the same goes for the Giants. I'm going to specify coaching for them. Right, Brian Dable is coach of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how many times we can say that, but every time you say it, Music to my ears.
I mean, it's just true.
Yeah.
Because you're taking a team with a not so perfect roster, a team that everyone thought was going to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I would have expected them to be like I think they don't. I don't think they've had their bye week yet. So like at this point, I would say like 1-6, 2-5, something along those lines. But they are 6-1.
Yeah.
Going into week 8, which is just crazy to me. He's a coach that these players want to play around, and they want to win for Dable, and he brings that energy and that culture that teams really need, and it shows that can actually lead to wins.
Yeah, that passion that you see and that he coaches with is like it's so beautiful.
I love it.
So, I know we talked a lot about each of these teams. What if they faced off?
I mean,
like in a football game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy to
What's
think
your
about.
take on that?
Okay, I want to going into more the like on field like play in itself. Both teams are winning games mainly because of their running attack, right? Saquon is one of the best running backs in football right now. Probably, I would say, second to Nick Chubb over in the entire league, and they just know how to use him well. Their offensive line isn't even that great, but they know how to like scheme Saquon to get open in a way. And I think same goes for Seattle. I mean, you had Rashad Penny, who was looking really good in the beginning of the year before he unfortunately I think he just broke his leg. It was the injury. I could be mistaken on that. But he had a leg injury, and he's out for the year. And like we just said, Kenneth Walker's been playing incredible too. He was a second-round pick out of Michigan State, and he was one of the best running backs in the draft, and he's playing like it now. So I think we're going to see a ton of running the football. We're going to see 50-plus carries between both teams combined. And I'm expecting a lot of big, explosive runs and, a decent passing game to complement it, but a lot of running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a 27-24 score, Seattle pulling off. Yeah, I think it's going to be like a game-winning field goal type of situation. I can literally see like 5 rushing touchdowns between both these teams or something. Out of the 6 I have them scoring. But I think it's going to be a fun, old school football kind of game.
Yeah, smash mouth. I disagree with you, sadly.
You got the Giants?
I do. 31-28 Giants. I say they pull it out. It's going to be a close game. I agree with you. Like that last field goal situation, but I think the Giants can edge them out.
Yeah, I should probably stop picking against the Giants.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep doing it just because I really like Geno Smith right now. Like, Geno Smith's a top 10 quarterback. As of just this season alone, he is a top 10 quarterback.
He didn't write back.
Nope. They wrote him off. He did not write back. That's going to be my...
He's writing his own story.
That's going to be my yearbook quote.
That's lovely.
I think I've already said that on here, but I'm going to say it again. It's just, it has to be. But, no, I'm really interested to see, like, real quick, I'm interested to see what receivers the Giants use now. I know Kadarius Toney's been injured, but, like, more so for the future and, what guys they plan to keep. Because I think they could just full-on reset this receiving core. Because they obviously don't need a great receiving core. They beat the Packers with, like, all of their guys out. Yeah. All their starters. So it's like, I'm really just interested to see where the future of this Giants team goes. But, unfortunately, the future holds an L. Because of Geno Smith. But I think that might be the game of the week. I think that could end up being the game of the week.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it is, at least. I think that's going to be a lot of fun plays, a lot of running the ball, a lot of turnovers potentially. I'm pretty excited. But we're going to move on to a game that probably should have been against 2 teams with winning records, but unfortunately is not. It's Sunday Night Football, Packers versus Bills. I'm assuming you have the Bills winning, so yes. I'll give my score first. I got 34-21 Bills. This Packers team sucks. That's all I got to say.
That's your take on the game?
Yeah, this Packers team is just bad.
I have a similar take on that. The Packers do suck.
Yeah.
I mean,
what else is there?
There's nothing much to say. But what was your score prediction?
34-21.
34-21. Did
you take 34-21? Is that what you have?
I do have 34.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, great minds think alike.
It's gotta come true now, though.
It has to. If this comes true, I'm gonna freak out. I think I might jump around a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Whoa. Don't get too
crazy. I know, but I might have to. It's just, I want the first thing I want to mention in this game is I don't know if you had seen it. I didn't really see much of it. I just saw a little snippet. But every Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers goes on the Pat McAfee show and talks about either like the recent week or the recent game or just other stuff in general.
I'm aware. I don't indulge.
I don't really indulge, but a clip came across on TikTok for me. So I was like, I'm going to watch it, of course. And it was A.J. Hawk, who was a former Packers. He was teammates with Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know, he played middle linebacker for him, and he's on the Pat McAfee show I think every day, actually. But he asked him about like what the Commanders' defense did to like cause Rodgers trouble, and Rodgers said nothing. They ran the most basic defense you could have imagined, and their team had too many mental errors to win. So he is really throwing his team under the bus right now.
It's an Aaron Rodgers type.
It is, and I don't think he does it in a malicious intent. I think he more so does it to motivate them, I guess. Because but I think it's. I could be wrong. Maybe he is just throwing shade at his receivers.
He's throwing shade.
Maybe. The Packers have been looking for a receiver at the trade deadline. Guys like Brandon Cooks. AJ Green is a name I've heard. Kendrick Bourne's a name I heard. I think Kadarius Toney was one. Chase Claypool's another one. So there's a bunch. I think the Packers will trade for a receiver at some point, and I don't know if it's going to be before the game or afterwards to kind of decide what type of receiver they want to bring in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. I think hearing those quotes, I think the Bills are going to come in and run the most basic defense possible, and they're a smart team who will just take advantage of the mental errors that the Packers make. Especially by the receiving core. The receiving core is not...
It's pitiful, to say the least.
Low football IQ. I'm sorry, but it's just like... I don't know. It's just a bunch of mental errors.
So now you're talking about Brady and Rodgers retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Warner suggests that they should both retire.
I've seen that a bunch of Packers players know that Rodgers is retiring after this year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been expecting it. Sign the crazy contract, play a year in it, and then just take the rest of the money and leave.
Yeah.
That's a Rodgers way to go out. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like he's
this guy.
It's not like he's not a Hall of Famer. Like, come on.
No, he is. I still hate him.
I think he is the most gifted quarterback to ever play football. Not the greatest.
Yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference between the greatest and the best. The best is talent alone.
Yeah.
The greatest is accolades and legacy. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback ever. I'm not afraid to say that. Because he has all of the, accuracy and the football IQ and all the intangibles that go with being a great quarterback, like Brady and Manning and Montana all do. But what does Rodgers have that none of those guys have? Athleticism.
He's got a spaghetti noodle for an arm that can.
Hey.
I mean, he's got a cannon. But the way he can way he can throw the ball.
Now I see what you mean.
It's so frustrating as a Packers hater. It's so frustrating to see him make those elite passes. I just wish I had a quarterback who could do that.
I thought you said noodle.
No,
I'm like,
I meant like flexibility.
No, you're right. His arm does move in funky ways, and I mean that's why he's one of the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't even think it's really Rodgers' fault at this point. I just think the offense that he has around him is bad, and it is
bad.
The running game is solid. Running game is solid. The offensive line is not too great.
Mm-hmm.
The receiving weapons he has are bad. There's not much to look forward to on this team in terms of giving Rodgers help. Hopefully they can bring in a good receiver like Chase Claypool. I mean, assuming Pittsburgh gets a good return for him, I don't want him gone for no reason. But maybe a guy like AJ Green, like a veteran, would be really nice for him.
AJ Green.
But what do you got? What are the little things you want to mention for this game? As a professional Packers hater.
But I just don't like Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I can understand that. I love Aaron Rodgers, honestly. I do. He brings.
I cannot believe you just said that.
He brings that
What do you mean by love him?
He brings that controversy that the NFL needs. I don't know, dude. The NFL will die down, and then Rodgers will do something to bring spark NFL fans back into action.
Like date a girl named Blue of Earth.
What?
You didn't?
Wait, what?
You don't know?
Wait, what?
I don't know if he's still dating her, but
what are you talking about?
At a certain point, Aaron Rodgers was dating a girl.
What?
Oh, wait, he's got a new one.
You're kidding.
Sorry, Shailene Woodley. I don't know who that is.
I knew he was dating Danica Patrick, who is the NASCAR driver. I knew that.
No. He was dating a girl named Blue of Earth.
What?
He was playing all of last season or either 2 seasons ago
what?
on hallucinogens. Did you not know?
Oh, I knew that.
You knew that. Blue of Earth. I don't mean to go on a tangent here.
That's weird.
I don't like Aaron Rodgers. He's a weird guy.
He is a weird guy, but I like the weirdness that he brings. It's funny. It's just funny to me. I love his interviews and stuff too. I think he's a funny guy, honestly. But yeah, we
Funny guy.
you're just a salty Bears fan. We all know it.
Maybe I am. I'm okay with that fact.
I'm happy you accept it, at least against Rodgers. I understand, but we're gonna move on here to the last game of the week, and that's gonna be Monday Night Football: Bengals versus Browns. I got Bengals winning 24-17. Although I think the Bengals are a way better team than Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
It's an AFC North matchup. Primetime games that are versus two divisional opponents are always close. Always. I don't think I've seen one where it's a blowout one way or the other. If it's a regular game, maybe. But if it's a primetime game, they are always close. And I stand by that.
I agree with that notion. I got 27-24 in favor of the Cincinnati Bengals.
You have it even closer than I do.
I like close games.
No, I understand it. Remember my point a few weeks ago that I made to you when we were talking about San Fran versus the Rams? And I said San Fran wins strictly because it's a NFC West matchup and it's the underdog that always wins.
Mm-hmm.
Who won? Who won that game?
San Francisco Giants.
No, that is not correct.
Wait, what?
It is not the Giants. It is not the San Francisco Giants. I'm sorry.
Oh, I've been watching too much baseball.
Fair enough. I understand. But no, I need San Francisco won.
Giants. Who says Giants?
We talked about the Giants earlier, dude. Calm down. It's okay. I know how much you have Danny Dimes on your head, but it's okay.
I love you, Danny Dimes.
No, I think the Bengals are going to stick to a similar offensive plan that they had last week, where they kind of blew out the Falcons, right?
Tore it, man.
All three receivers went off, and that's what the Browns need to do. Their secondary, their defense is a bottom 5 defense in football right now, which is crazy when you have guys like Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett running the show.
Yeah.
But that secondary is still good.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good set of corners, good safeties, so I think they really can hold a couple of these receivers. My note I put down, I just said, keep at least 2 of the receivers in check at all times. If one has to get open, whatever, then you can maybe stop it. But you have to keep Jamar Chase from doing nothing. You have to keep T. Higgins from doing nothing. And I don't even want to say let Boyd get open because Boyd had over 150 yards last week.
Yeah.
But when you have the best receiving core in football, which I'm still willing to say is Cincinnati.
Really?
Maybe Miami is ahead of them.
Yeah.
Which I'd be okay with that because those two are top 10 in the NFL both. But whatever. I think the best 3 is Cincinnati.
I like that take.
Yeah. So what do you got here? I know you gave this score, but what do you have?
Browns. Maybe I'm a little bit of maybe I bias against the Browns.
I like that
for whatever reason.
I like the bias against the Browns.
I don't know why I have a bias against the Browns. I just don't like the Browns. But I do think that the Bengals are a better team so far in this season. The Bengals, they're just in the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
So they got to keep playing at this high caliber, and I think they can continue it. I love the rivalry in the AFC North. There's a lot of, I think, pretty polarizing hatred between a lot of the teams.
I hate Baltimore. I can tell you that much. I hate Baltimore.
So yeah, I think it'll be a feisty, fun game to watch,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think the Bengals can edge them out.
I think I want to mention one thing because I think obviously we mentioned the teams in general, but one thing I want to throw in there is I think it's very important for the Browns to get Kareem Hunt involved as much as possible. And it isn't even because it's Cincinnati. I say that because there's a lot of talks about him getting traded.
Mm-hmm.
And, they play Monday night and they can get a trade done by, I think it's 3 p.m. Tuesday. The time could be wrong, but it's a certain point in the afternoon on Tuesday that trades have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to it sucks that they're playing on Monday night, but I think they're going to let Kareem Hunt play a lot. Hope he doesn't get injured or anything. Let him show how good he is, and then a team will jump on him. And I think a team like Philly, I know they just traded for Robert Quinn, but I think they can jump on that and take Kareem Hunt as their lead back. So I think that's going to be a game plan for him, is they try to get him involved a lot, so they can probably raise their asking price for him. Yeah. But no, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Is there any final notes you want to mention about any of these games, other than anything about Aaron Rodgers? I already know you're going to say something.
No, I won't say anything about Aaron Rodgers. I just want to say good luck to the San Francisco Giants in their game this weekend.
They are just not playing.
Go San Francisco
They
Giants.
they did not even make the playoffs, I don't think.
They're going all the way.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that. Okay, well that's going to do it for